Hey guys, this is Michael
And John
of Guns Out. Boom! So we're here to talk about Core Essentials, based in California. They sent us some new gun belts that they call the all-new 2.0 system. What is it? Well, we're gonna find out just how good or how bad these belts really are.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're good because, you know, my last belt was real flimsy. This already feels, you know, a lot more tactile, a lot more rigid. So I think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, well, man, I've had a lot of gun belts, John, quite a few of them, but I've never had more of a dress leather style gun belt. And I gotta tell you, I like this, John. I mean, you know, my former life, being a political guy, I used to wear a lot of suits. And something like this, it's very, very nice. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not exactly sure how this would work. As far as wearing a suit with inside the waistband carry, perhaps this is something that I would do an OWB on, and more than likely, if I were to carry that way, my jacket, and if it's the wintertime, my coat over my jacket would likely cover the gun, so I wouldn't necessarily be too concerned. But overall, man, I mean, the finish is beautiful. It's like a gray gunmetal type color.
It's
very
a
nice,
stylish
beautiful
looking
polish
belt. I mean, literally, even this tactical one with the mesh outside. I mean, listen, or the canvas outside. I mean, this is really nice. You know, I mean, look at the finish on this. This looks like the finish on a charcoal grill.
No,
almost.
It's
nice,
nice, man.
Uber sturdy,
like
like Kevlar almost.
No, so, I like it, John. And I think, I mean, when you look at these belts, you want something that's going to look good. You don't want to buy a belt that yeah, it serves its purpose, but it looks crappy. So you're constantly always trying to cover the belt up. You want something where, you know, when you're going to the range, you're hanging out with the guys, and you say, man, look at the new belt that I bought. It's a nice belt, and it's also serves its purpose, right? It's applicable to your everyday life. It's sturdy, yet this thing is flexible, man. I mean, you look at this, it's flexible as heck. But again, when you look at the material, you look at the stitching, you look at the quality around the stitching, it's very obvious and clear that this is a belt that's comfortable, but it isn't going anywhere. If you're jumping around or you're everyday walking, you know that this belt is absolutely seated to your waist. So their belts have something called the Power Core Center, which is really cool because essentially, according to Core Essentials, it means that the belts are very sturdy, but also very flexible. So that means if you're sitting down at work, you're walking, you're moving around a lot, you know the belt isn't going anywhere, meaning your firearm is going to be exactly where you originally placed it, which is important because, as you guys know, when you go to draw that thing, that muscle memory, the mechanics, it needs to be where it's at every single time. And so knowing that you have the reliability of a belt that's comfortable, that has the flexibility, but also the sturdiness is going to be so freaking essential, John, to everyday carry.
Well, listen, think about the draw, okay? When you go to draw, you need a belt that's going to stay in place to keep your holster in place during the draw as well. Because I've actually had a belt so flimsy that when I went to pull, the whole holster came out with the gun.
You don't want that,
how crazy would that be in a situation where you need to
life
draw
or
your
death. Life
pistol?
or death.
It's really life or death. So it's very important that these belts work right. It's very important that you understand what you're looking for in a sturdy belt. So hopefully these, you know, fit the bill.
So let's put these suckers together, and maybe we'll do a little draw from holster just to see how sturdy they really are. Let's put it to the test.
I haven't shot all week, so don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, let's go then.
All right, let's go. The first thing you want to make sure you do before you tighten your screws is to close this little latch. This latch right here pulls the belt into place and keeps it in place, so when you tighten the screws, the belt won't move. All right, so now we got the buckle on here. So the ratcheting system on the inside, as we talked about earlier. And listen to this, guys. You hear that? Look at that. And once it gets there, there's no coming back.
Let's see,
and then you hit.
John, let's pull it.
Okay, hold on. I just wanted to show them real quick. So this is the lever to loosen the little ratcheting part, that clasp, right? And then here it is. See that? Look at that. So now it's in place. Go ahead, Michael. Give it a tug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. And you know it's got the right amount of tension if you have to forcefully feed it through here, because it's that stiff. It's not just like curving, but it's not to the point where it took a whole lot to get it around. But look at that, man. It's not a bad fit. It's pretty good. I like to give myself a little room right there, so if I want to, I can pull the clasp over this way. And look at that, man. Nice fit. Go ahead, drop the EDC in there.
How does it feel?
It feels good. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. It's not extra heavy. Yeah, I don't feel like I have anything outside of my regular belt on. However, this thing is not moving.
Does it feel like it's sturdy? And
Feels. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
And I think, like John, I'm probably also going to cut at, what, 32, John?
32. Yep.
Let's see. My waist is a 30, but I'm going to cut two sizes up, rather. Excuse me. I guess that's just to give a little wiggle room for the buckle and all of that stuff. But you can see whatever your waist size is, up to a 44, you know, you're pretty safe.
So if you don't preference the excess, I cut this at a 32. So there you go. There's my extra inches right here.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to cut it at a 30, I probably wouldn't have any excess right here. And
Right.
the belt would fit more exact.
So the deeper belt receptacle with the set screws makes it nearly impossible, well, according to them, impossible, for this belt to come out. Like, this thing should be nice and sturdy, as you guys can see. And so according to them, this upgrade makes it all but impossible for the belt to pull out of the buckle unless you undo the set screws. So, whoa, there we go. To put a little pressure. FYI there, guys. Let's see here. Let's put this thing on. Let's see.
So that's interesting because I want to say you have yours on backwards unless you can access.
Nope, that's the way I like to wear my belt.
No, I'm saying to access the ratchet release on the bottom of your belt buckle.
Yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem.
So yeah, you can access it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because you see mine is on top. I ran mine the other way.
So I have a bunch of EDC belts. I mean, God knows, more than I can count. Most of you guys are probably the same. And you know, this stuff is all preferential, John. Like, all of my belts that I carry that have a similar ratchet system, I always have it at the bottom. And I don't know why. I guess it's just something that I'm used to. It's just a preferential thing. But enough of that. My pants are sturdy. Let's go ahead and put my gun in. Let's see how this feels. Let's see. And I usually like to, and I'm wearing a hoodie, so you know it's gonna be easy to conceal this thing. Now you won't get to see how beautiful the belt is, but you get the point. And it's comfortable, it feels good, it feels sturdy.
Yeah.
I have to be honest about this. Now, a lot of the belts that I do have are a lot thicker than this. And granted, this is more of a dress belt, but I'm surprised that, you know, I don't feel too much of a difference. Now, clearly a thicker material is gonna equate to more sturdiness. That's just the bottom line. But the point I'm trying to make here is, despite the fact that this belt isn't as thick for a more of a dress type of more designer look, it doesn't feel like I'm losing too much of the sturdiness that I'm used to with other brands. And I will give, you know, I'll give them some points on that, John.
So when you say thick too, you're talking about the girth of the belt, right?
Yeah.
Not the width of the belt, right?
Yep.
Right.
So
Okay.
similar to the one you have on now. Like, I'm used to wearing something like that. This is, I mean, this is done.
Yeah,
this
so
is
I
really
think
like
that's an inch and a half, and this
dress
is the
belt.
one and 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, but I like it. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
look,
No,
at the
it's
end of the
very
day, you want something that's comfortable. You want it to look cool, but it needs to be sturdy. It needs to be able to carry that gun, because again, I don't want to be walking around, John, and my gun is moving all over the place. Because again, when you're practicing your dry firing at home, you're practicing drawing from concealment, it's so important for that gun to be in the same place every single time. So when I go to lift, I need to know that my gun is where it always is. I don't want it to be way over here. I don't want it to be all over the place, because that could be a matter of life and death.
Absolutely.
So, you know, again, I will give Core Essentials some brownie points on the design of the belt. It looks nice, it's sturdy, and I gotta be honest, I like it, but you know, we need to draw from holster to see how reliable and sturdy these things really are.